Hi everyone, welcome to our new and improved Popcorn movies.
Yeah.
So we've decided, just based on some feedback from you guys, to do it where you can see us as opposed to making a video. So this is our first time, and we are actually reviewing a movie that was brought to us by request from Josiah. So he's a very active member of our Pupper Pack. So
And
hi,
this
Josiah.
is the thanks we get.
This is the thanks we get. The movie that we are actually reviewing today is the Sweet Life on Deck movie.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily, is it the Sweet Life on Deck movie or just the Sweet Life movie?
I think it's just the Sweet Life movie because that was the only one that came up and that's just what it was called. But it's based on the Sweet Life on Deck.
Yeah. So it's actually based on both the Sweet Life on Deck as well as just the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Okay.
And I have my notes here, so you're going to see me like looking down. It's just so I get everyone's names right. But the film itself came out in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So we're a little old.
Yeah, I graduated in 2009, so it was about my first year of college.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like halfway through college.
Yeah.
So our review is going to be a little bit skewed because, again, we are older
I am not
people.
The target audience.
Yeah,
for
we
this.
are older people watching this movie, and it's definitely targeted. If I was like 13, I would have loved this movie.
If I was 13, I still wouldn't like this because I never liked children's sitcoms.
Yeah, whereas I was definitely like a children's sitcom person. So, but in the end, it was produced by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it is a Disney movie. It went
Yay.
straight to TV. Yay.
That doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, well, it went straight to TV. So it had 5.2 million viewers whenever it first screened.
I'm sure.
So, I mean, it was a pretty popular movie at the time. With
Shit sell.
with an estimated budget of $20 million. Whew.
Well now. Them Disney bucks.
Them Disney bucks. And it really was Disney through and through, from like the direction to the writing to the actors. You know, Disney movies, especially straight to TV movies based off shows, they typically keep everyone together.
Yeah.
So they're not looking to like expand.
Go through the machine.
Right, that's why all of the movies are kind of the same, because they use the same directors, the same actors, the same setup.
Yeah, just churn them out.
Yeah.
Make us money.
So, but the director for this specific film was Sean McNamara,
Okay.
which when I first read it, all I could think of was John Mulaney when he does the skit about going to Mr. McNamara's house.
Oh.
And I was like, I wonder if that's the guy. It's not the guy. But he did do a couple other Disney movies, like Even Stevens. He was on the set of That's So Raven. Zeke and Luther, which is one I don't know. That was like after my Disney time.
That's the only one I don't know by name. All the other ones I know by name, but I
Yeah,
never watched
Shake It Up, Ant Farm,
Wasn't my stuff.
Jesse. Yeah. Again, he worked with all the same actors that are like in this movie in their own shows. Like when they had their own shows. Like Debbie Ryan was an actress in this movie. She played the girl that we don't like, whose name Bailey.
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 Do we want to start on Bailey now or later?
Oh, we're gonna get to Bailey.
We'll get
in
to
a minute.
Bailey.
But she started her own show, which this director actually directed her show as well. So they worked hand in hand, which is a shame that he directed her the way he did in this movie. It was written by Michael Saltzman, who isn't actually a well-known writer, but he did write for a show called Actually, which I think we should check out. It's like a nerd game show. So they talk about stuff like the Dark Crystal and video games and animes, and I think it would be cool.
But it's written by this guy.
We all make mistakes. Look
They're
at what
probably
I
gonna
do
poison the
for
well.
my actual job. We all make mistakes.
All right.
But anyway, it's starring Dylan and Cole Sprouse.
Yep.
Dylan, who plays Zack, I believe, he actually doesn't really do much acting anymore. I feel like Zack and Cody kind of like killed his acting career, which I'm like, not that upset about. But he
neither.
owns a meadery
Oh, cool.
in New York. So he's definitely more of like the hipster kind of like let's brew beer and talk about history. Whereas
All right.
Cole did continue his acting career. He plays in like Riverdale. He's Jughead in Riverdale. I
Oh,
know
wow.
you don't watch that show, but it's
I've
really
heard
good.
of it.
It's really good. So, but both of them played in Friends as the baby.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they were the baby in
also
Friends.
Big Daddy.
Yes, they were in Big Daddy. Again, it's a shame that they ended up doing this type of movie, but
got them 3 times as much money.
they did way better than Brenda Song, who is also a star in this movie. She plays Tipton, London Tipton.
Okay.
Who she was in like one movie after this that is well known, which is College Road Trip.
I've heard of it.
After that, all of her acting was straight to DVD.
Ooh. Well.
Oof.
That's Disney for
Yeah.
you.
But
Print us money, make us money. That's it.
And then just
out.
there you
Next
go.
kid.
all of the other like adult actors very much play all of the adults in all of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
All of the movies, all of the TV shows, they're all in there. So I'm not going to waste time and go through each like of the starring actors.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're in there. I would just be mentioning the exact same shows over and over and over again. So if you want to know, IMDb them. But so let's get into the actual movie itself.
Yeah, because I have no idea if it's connected to the show or not, because the last time I saw Sweet Life, and I mean, I've seen clips because my sister watched it, Zack was thirsting after an older woman, I believe played by Ashley Tisdale.
Yes.
And that's the extent of the show I know.
Of course it is. So yeah, it is based off both shows because Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, I think, was 3 seasons, and then they moved to like a cruise ship, and they did Sweet Life on Deck for 3 seasons.
Okay.
So, and then I think they took like a year off, and then they did this movie,
right?
Which was like the end of Zack and Cody.
And like the appeal was they were kids, so I was
Yeah.
just like, they're kids, it's fine. This one, they're like
They're
getting
like
into adulthood. So
yeah, they're like
seniors
16,
and
17
like,
years
yeah.
old, and it's just like, it's
So I'm
not
like,
really funny anymore. It's actually kind of like concerning. Some of the behaviors that both of them have, I'm just like, someone should talk to them about that.
Yeah.
But again, we are old now. So again, if I was 13, I would have loved this movie, mainly because it does have all of the qualities that you would look for in like a sitcom style movie, but
There's
just
qualities in
dumbed
those?
down and watered down for kids.
All right.
So it's not meant to be like this deep philosophical movie or like a highly action-packed movie. It is
supposed
designed.
to be like the Brady Bunch reunion.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't hate it as much as he did because I understand that it's meant for a different age bracket. So I was trying to watch it.
I just could not believe it was over 2 hours long.
No, it was 75 minutes. It was like an hour and a half long. It wasn't over 2 hours.
I'm pretty sure
It
was
felt
an
like
hour,
we
20
took
minutes.
2 breaks watching it.
All right. All right.
We turned it off twice.
All right. All right. It felt long.
It did feel very long. And again, that's because it's watered down for kids.
Yeah.
So the action sequences that happen throughout the movie, it's very dry. It's the way that characters are introduced is a shame.
Yeah, it just starts with like a love story, sorta. Like he's going on and on about this Bailey girl, and just like, oh, how cute, we're gonna go to this. And she like snaps and gets paranoid within the first 5 minutes of screen time, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
And sure as shit, every scene until like the very last scene, it's just her.
She's a psycho.
Just like being very clingy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, this is a shame. And you're just like, in the show, she's not like this. Well, this is my introduction to the character, and I hate her.
And I think that's the thing that, like, definitely splits how we feel about it, is because I did watch the show, at least parts of the show. I understood that, like, Bailey's character, she's, like, the country bumpkin that's super smart, and, you know, she's supposed to be a little bit more down to earth. And in this movie, she just went straight psycho. Like, straight stereotypical representation of like a bad female character.
Yeah.
Like the writing for her was awful. Like it was just garbage. The whole way it was garbage. There's so much more they could have done with her character, because I actually really liked her character in the show. I thought that she was what I would want like as a female role model for kids.
Okay.
So where you can be quirky, you can be funny, you can be smart, you can be all these things.
Well, none of that in this motion picture.
No, absolutely
time for
none.
that.
Absolutely none. So the whole basis of this movie is that
Tell me the plot.
Cody is trying to get a recommendation to go to Yale. So he can't spend spring break with his girlfriend Bailey. He's trying to tell Bailey, and Zack, his twin brother, is just the whole time like, I want the car. We don't know about the car. So there's just this reference of a car, and it's only a reference. We don't see it. We don't know anything about it. And he essentially breaks his brother up with Bailey by telling her that he's not spending spring break with her. And that's where she like snaps, which I'm like, okay, that's weird. You're not even gonna ask why. But she like snaps, and like he goes off onto this internship without her on like a bad note.
Yeah, we can't have her along because the plot has to happen.
Yeah.
And she's not allowed to be involved in the plot.
So,
otherwise, the plot don't work.
Right, which I don't understand because she is also smart. They could have easily, like, included that, but they didn't.
Because she's not a twin.
Yeah.
Like that, the whole
point is twins. So it starts out that he goes to, like, this biology, marine biology internship where Zack messes up. They break, like, this multi-million-dollar tank, and they get kicked out. So, and then they end up going to a different internship meant for twins. So, but the kicker is both of them have to go.
Yes, because it's called the Gemini Project.
How original.
So, on the nose, I thought Will Smith was going to just
Gemini,
greet them
what would you do if he just, like, waltzed out? Like,
I would not be surprised.
But, like, there's nothing else for him to do other than just, like, salute and walk away. But anyway, they end up at this Gemini Project where, like, we see all of these really creepy twins. And again, as an adult, we're like, this is cheesy. How much more obvious can they get? This is really boring. As a kid, I would have been like, that's really creepy. But again, I'm no longer a kid, so I'm just like, eh.
You know, for kids.
Yeah.
This is for kids.
It's for kids. So essentially they're going through this Gemini Project where they find out that the whole point of it is they are trying to merge the twins. So they're eating like this weird fruit that makes them feel empathy for each other, makes them feel their pain, and then eventually is going to merge them so that it's two brains in one body and the other body is just, I guess, tossed in a river. I don't know.
Yeah.
They never really cover what happens to the other body.
No.
I had that thought of like, what do they do with the other body? Like, that's my adult side kicking in of like, there's got to be a lot of bodies hidden somewhere in a barn.
I was just waiting for it to throw like some kind of clever twist. I was even begging like, just throw like a wasp in there and he'll fuse with the wasp at the end.
Oh, we've been a little obsessed with the fly lately, but
a little.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And at the end, like, they did have a twist that I feel, again, for a younger person would have been like, what?
It was
where
cute.
it's like the bad guy is the twin of like the good guy, and that was the whole feud. I don't remember their names.
Well, there was like, it was like a parallel between Zack and Cody's dispute.
Right, of like,
because
they're so different, they don't get
the
along.
whole thing is like, I'm tired of it, man. We're gonna break up. This is the end of the band. And then there's like a musical montage, and then we'll get back together, except cut the montage. They just get back together in the next scene. Because they gotta go on this adventure.
They have to go on the adventure. So like the parallel was nice. For science! The parallel was nice, but again, at the end of the day, two adults watching it, we had to take 2 breaks because it was rather excruciating to watch. If I was 10, 15 years younger.
Because the progression of the story is like molasses slow.
Yeah.
But the jokes, unfunny as they are, they're fast.
And I think, again, that's the difference. I have the humor of a 12-year-old boy. So it's like some of the jokes I was like, hey. And I'd like look over at you and I'm like, hey, wake up. Like, so some of the jokes were pretty funny. Like in the beginning, they're talking to this dolphin and he's like, so what's the relationship? Why? What have you heard? Like just kind of little tiny comments about relationships in the movie I thought were rather funny.
Okay.
But as a whole, altogether, I don't think it's something that I want to watch again.
Honestly,
or buy on
I'd like
DVD
it better if they'd just quit cutting back to Bailey.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
If they would have gotten rid of her, like she literally served no purpose throughout the except there was like one tiny part at the end where she's like, Cody, you have to stay mad, and then that's it. Like that's her entire purpose for being there. Like if they would have cut that entire scene with Bailey out of her being angry the whole time and being like this psycho B word.
She should have been someone that's just like, oh, I can't join you this summer because I'm going on a trip. Bye, Bailey.
Yeah, like
she's gone from the movie.
So it's
Won't miss her.
I understand she has to be mad to make sure that Zack and Cody stay mad at each other. So I understand her role in like
you could do that
pushing them apart.
Exactly.
Other ways. There are so many better ways to stay true to her character and their characters without using her as like this psycho, crazy, clingy girlfriend. Like I hated that whole thing of just like her
every time I came back, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
But the plot was happening.
Yeah, I didn't like any of it. And I wish they would have done more with like London's being able to talk to fish.
So did I. I thought that was going to go somewhere.
Yeah, because she is so dumb as a character, like just mentally, like she's a small child herself. So I thought that it'd be funnier or more entertaining or more engaging if they utilized her character more with being able to talk to the fish.
Yeah, I thought that was going to like serve the plot in some way.
Yeah.
It was just a running gag that just kind of went no.
That just fizzled out. Again, like the only thing that happened is like, oh, humans have to eat the fruit too, and then like nothing came of it.
Yeah.
So it feels half finished to me, like rushed or
a Disney production that's half finished in this climate.
See,
say no more.
But again, keeping in mind this was written 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago.
2011. So this was like right when the Avengers were about to come on the screen. Yeah. This was like Marvel Phase 1.
Right. And it like again, it was the wrapping up of this whole
This was like foreshadowing that Kevin Feige was like the only guy that had a vision in this damn studio. Everyone else just doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
So as you can see, we weren't big fans of the movie itself. Based on I feel like the main thing is that we were just too old to watch it.
That's the main problem.
We were too old to watch it, and it was produced in a time frame where everything going on in society in different places like that, they can't add the jokes in for parents like they used to.
Yeah.
Like we could watch the original like Snow White and Disney cartoon movies and things like that, and there's like jokes and quips for parents in there as well that kids aren't going to understand, they're not going to get. Yeah, like they're very cleverly written for children and parents to make it a family film. Whereas I feel like this is not a family film, this is a children's film that parents are just like, all right, time.
Here we go.
Crack open a beer after this one. Like, it's painful. It's painful as an adult to watch if you don't have someone to watch it that is enjoying it.
Right, exactly.
I feel like if parents were like watching their kids enjoy it, it would be a bearable, but we're like, oh, the dog passed out.
Yep.
The cat left. Like, there's nothing else to watch but the movie. So it's just really, I say put it down.
Yeah, I'd give it a put it down. For me.
Yeah.
I didn't really have expectations, and it was lower than that.
Yeah. It's like it teeters for me to take it to the shelter and to put it down.
If they would have got rid of the Bailey subplot, I'd take it to the shelter.
If Bailey was different, it would just be taking it to the shelter. But this one, we're Old Yeller style.
Because that wasted
taking
so
it out
much
back.
time.
Not only time, but mental energy. Just
like when they all rose up as zombies at the end, like zombies.
Yeah.
To get Zack and Cody.
Yeah.
That was somewhat interesting, kind of goofy, but like there was a little bit of intrigue there because it wasn't taking things so damn seriously.
Right, and then just again, we got to keep flashing back to
like I don't care about Bailey and like Zack and Cody's melodrama. It doesn't work. I don't buy it.
Yeah. So again, I feel like most of the actors have developed in their acting careers since then, including Cole Sprouse being in Riverdale now. His acting style is not sitcom at all. He does very well as Jughead. Okay. And even Debbie Ryan, who plays Bailey, is the star of a show called Insatiable, which I don't think you know about, but I binge watched it in like 2 days. It's fantastic, and she does a really good job in that series.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Folks, what did you guys think about the Sweet Life movie, and what are some of your other favorite Disney Channel movies? Don't you dare recommend them. Let me sleep in peace.
Recommend all of them.
No, my God.
All of them. He must suffer.
This was a mistake. All right, guys. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next movie review.
Toodles.